I think she hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all agree on that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him out.
You average out the View hosts among the dumbest people on television. And it's like they say the thing that people are thinking, but they say it very directly, so they expose whatever.
She does not want to be the first lady anymore.
Whoopi is certainly not the brightest person, and what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out.
She doesn't want to sleep in the same room with him. She can't tolerate him.
Melania Trump is back in the headlines, and this time she's not holding back. In a move that has caught political experts and TV hosts off guard, she filed a massive $100 million defamation lawsuit against the hosts of The View. The show has never shied away from polarizing discussions, but the comments they made about Melania's personal life, even questioning her commitment to her marriage, sparked a firestorm. Now everyone is asking the same question: did The View finally cross a line too far?
Critics are going hard after a liberal media member for vile comments about Melania Trump.
Melania isn't the only one talking. Joe Rogan singled out The View for what he called blatant hypocrisy, pointing out a time when Donald and Melania Trump were welcomed on the very same stage they are now being scorned from. Suddenly, fans of Rogan, viewers of The View, and political enthusiasts are converging on social media to pick sides. But before you form your own opinion, let's walk through the details, because this story involves more layers than you might think. Long before her lawsuit, The View frequently critiqued Melania Trump's personal choices, from White House decor to her stance on Christmas, often questioning her dedication to being First Lady. Some hosts implied she disliked her role and husband, fueling speculation about her genuine feelings. Comments that she wanted to take him out or wouldn't decorate for Christmas were viewed by certain viewers as comedic jabs, yet others considered them deeply personal, even defamatory. Over time, tension brewed. Critics insisted The View's commentary was mere banter, while Melania's supporters argued it advanced harmful rumors. Either way, it was clear the hosts rarely held back in discussing her marriage and motivations. Matters reached a boiling point when they targeted her political stances, accusing her of moral inconsistencies and disinterest in public service.
Individual freedom is a fundamental principle that I safeguard. Without a doubt, there is no room for compromise when it comes to this essential right that all women possess from birth: individual freedom. What does my body, my choice really mean?
As these remarks went viral, viewers and analysts fought over whether The View was courageously telling truths or overstepping boundaries. Ultimately, the intensifying debate exposed a larger question of responsible commentary versus free speech, setting the stage for a legal showdown with substantial stakes. Fans called it incisive commentary. Critics decried a relentless campaign against a political spouse. Now both sides await any outcome and the impact on talk shows. One especially heated segment on The View took a dramatic turn. A host declared they believed Melania hates her husband and doesn't even want to occupy the same space. Another insisted she was merely tolerating him for her public role. While speculation about political marriages is nothing new, the bluntness of these claims felt jarring. The hosts poked fun at Melania's White House redecoration, questioning her taste and implying she disliked Christmas traditions. It wasn't mere gossip. Some hosts implied Melania might be biding her time, ready to distance herself from her husband's controversies. References to taking him out or destroying the Rose Garden had a comedic edge that appealed to viewers who disliked the Trumps. However, others found it harsh, especially considering Donald Trump's security threats and the gravity of suggesting someone wants to take him out. Once those words were aired, debates erupted across social media. For Melania, these statements seem to have been the final straw. Facing media criticism is one thing, being portrayed as a hostile spouse with sinister intentions is another. Within days, news emerged of a $100 million defamation suit, a very bold move. A clear signal that Melania was done turning the other cheek. Joe Rogan, never one to mince words, jumped into the Melania Trump controversy with his trademark humor and candor. He blasted The View for what he called blatant hypocrisy, recalling how the show once welcomed Donald Trump with open arms, celebrating his business acumen and TV stardom. Now, Rogan insists, they've flipped their narrative, portraying Melania as a reluctant hostage to Trump's political ambitions. He contends that such drastic shifts stem more from political convenience than genuine conviction. Once Trump became a top presidential contender, outlets like The View saw criticism of him as a surefire way to boost ratings and clicks. Rogan argues Melania became collateral damage in a larger campaign of posturing and sensationalism. In a stinging rebuke, he questioned the intellectual rigor of The View's panel, famously asking if averaging out the IQ of the hosts would even reach triple digits. This comment went viral, provoking backlash from supporters of The View, who accused Rogan of disrespect. Yet his followers applauded his critique, noting that daytime talk shows can devolve into gossip-fueled spectacles rather than present measured, fact-based discourse. Rogan's candor only heightened debate around free speech and media responsibility. This story isn't over yet. The defamation lawsuit Melania Trump has filed goes beyond mere headlines and may shape media law precedents. Defamation suits against high-profile figures are especially challenging in the United States due to strong free speech protections. Typically, public figures must prove actual malice, meaning the defendants knowingly lied or recklessly disregarded the truth. Melania's legal team argues that the statements made on The View were verifiably false and harmful enough to damage her reputation significantly. If she prevails, it could make it easier for celebrities and politicians to pursue similar claims against media outlets when they blur the line between speculation and defamation. Nonetheless, skeptics point to the high burden of proof required in such cases, noting that talk show hosts might defend their remarks as comedic opinions rather than outright falsehoods. Moreover, defamation lawsuits often drag on for years and sometimes end in confidential settlements instead of a public trial. Whether Melania's claim results in a courtroom showdown or a behind-the-scenes agreement remains unclear, but the case has already reignited debates about free speech, journalistic standards, and the limits of public criticism. Regardless of the outcome, its impact on future defamation disputes involving public figures could be both profound and far-reaching. One of the biggest questions looming over this lawsuit is where to draw the line between free speech and responsible commentary. There's no doubt that late-night television, daytime talk shows, and even news panels thrive on lively banter, bold claims, and shocking opinions. That's part of what keeps audiences tuning in. But when does that banter become legally actionable? If Melania's lawsuit gains traction, talk shows might have to rethink their approach to discussing public figures. Hosting a roundtable discussion filled with speculation can be entertaining, but it also runs the risk of crossing into defamation territory, especially when the hosts present allegations as fact. Additionally, viewers might start demanding stricter boundaries when it comes to discussing someone's private life. Public figures, regardless of their political affiliations, may feel emboldened to push back legally against what they see as reckless or malicious commentary. The timing of this lawsuit has raised eyebrows. It arrives just as Donald Trump is making headlines for a host of other political and legal issues, from campaign strategies to ongoing controversies. Is Melania seizing the moment to refocus public attention on herself and her causes? Some believe it's all part of a carefully orchestrated media play, designed to shift the narrative and position her as an independent voice willing to fight back against perceived injustices. Others see it as pure frustration, Melania's last resort after years of feeling misrepresented in the media. Only Melania and her closest confidants know the real motivation behind this lawsuit. Yet, her decision to go forward and demand a hefty sum indicates she's serious about enforcing boundaries. Defamation suits can be used as a way to deter future negative coverage, signaling to talk shows and tabloid outlets alike that they risk massive financial penalties if they cross into harmful, unfounded allegations. The public reaction has been as polarized as you'd expect in a climate where virtually everything becomes a political battleground. On one side, fans of the former First Lady applaud her for standing up to what they see as a malicious mainstream media that has long disrespected her. They argue that if anyone else made comments this direct and personal, they'd be dragged into court just the same. On the other side, critics accuse Melania of attempting to silence free speech and healthy critique. They see her move as a strategic bid to muzzle talk show personalities who hold a negative view of her or her husband. Some even claim the lawsuit is a publicity stunt designed to keep the Trumps relevant and drum up sympathy from their base. Whichever angle you look at, social media is on fire with threads, tweets, and discussions dissecting every aspect of the story. Memes featuring The View's hosts and the Trumps are circulating widely, further fueling the conversation. Ultimately, this story isn't just about whether Melania Trump resents holiday decorating or if The View's hosts went too far. It's about the tension between public figures and the media, between freedom of expression and the need to protect individuals, famous or not, from damaging rumors. If Melania succeeds in her lawsuit, talk shows may need to weigh their words more cautiously to avoid legal repercussions. All eyes are on the courts now. Will the judge rule that The View's hosts acted with malicious intent, or will the case be dismissed based on free speech protections? The outcome could affect not only entertainment, but also political commentary. Meanwhile, Joe Rogan has seized the moment, challenging what he perceives as bias in mainstream media. With his massive audience, his critique amplifies the debate on sensationalism and orchestrated narratives. The View continues its broadcasts, tackling fresh controversies and preparing its defense if needed. In the end, this confrontation is bigger than Melania's stance on Christmas decorations. It's a battle that tests the boundaries of modern media, reminding us how even powerful figures feel cornered by relentless speculation. With $100 million at stake, the future of talk show discourse may never be the same. Stay tuned.